Government and rule are often used interchangeably, but they are not the same. Government refers to the institutions and people who make and enforce laws. It is a structured system designed to manage a community or nation. Rule, on the other hand, is the exercise of power or authority. It involves the actions and decisions made by those in charge. Governments are established to create order and provide services. They operate based on laws and policies. Rules are more about the way authority is exercised. They can be fair or unfair depending on the ruler. The difference lies in the structure versus the action. Understanding these differences is crucial. It helps us see how power can be used or abused. It also shows the importance of checks and balances in a society. Justice is the cornerstone of good governance. It ensures that laws are applied fairly. Justice means that everyone is treated equally under the law. It protects the rights of individuals. Without justice, a government can become corrupt. Leaders may use their power for personal gain. This leads to a loss of public trust. Justice helps to prevent this. It holds leaders accountable for their actions. Justice is not just about punishment, it is also about fairness in decision-making. This includes how resources are distributed and how conflicts are resolved. A just government works for the benefit of all its people. Balance in governance prevents the abuse of power. When power is concentrated in one person or group, it can lead to tyranny. Tyranny is the cruel and oppressive use of power. It often ignores the needs and rights of the people. A balanced government has checks and balances. This means that different branches of government can limit each other's power. For example, in many democracies, the executive, legislative, and judicial branches each have separate powers. They can check and balance each other. This balance helps to prevent any one branch from becoming too powerful. It ensures that power is used responsibly. When power is balanced, it is more difficult for leaders to act in their own interest. Instead, they must consider the needs of the whole community. Royal rule is often associated with monarchies. In a monarchy, a king or queen holds significant power. However, royal rule can also refer to the ideal exercise of authority. This ideal emphasizes wisdom, fairness, and the welfare of the people. A good ruler should act in the best interest of their subjects. They should be just and fair. They must balance their power with responsibility. Royal rule is not about absolute power. It is about using power wisely and justly. Historically, some monarchs have been seen as ideal rulers. They were respected for their wisdom and fairness. However, not all monarchs have lived up to this ideal. The concept of royal rule serves as a reminder of the responsibilities that come with power. Section 5. Justice in modern governance systems. Modern governance systems strive to incorporate justice. Many countries have legal frameworks that ensure fairness. These frameworks include constitutions, laws, and regulations. They aim to protect the rights of individuals and promote equality. Justice in governance also involves transparency. This means that government actions and decisions are open to public scrutiny. It helps prevent corruption and abuse of power. Transparency builds trust between the government and the people. Another aspect of justice in governance is accountability. Leaders must be accountable for their actions. They should be held responsible if they misuse their power. This accountability is often enforced through legal and political processes. Section 6. Balance in contemporary politics. In contemporary politics, balance is crucial. It helps prevent the concentration of power. Many modern democracies have systems in place to ensure balance. These include separation of powers and checks and balances. For example, in the United States, power is divided among the executive, legislative, and judicial branches. Each branch has its own responsibilities. They can also limit the actions of the other branches. This system prevents any one branch from becoming too powerful. Balance is also important in political representation. A diverse and representative government is more likely to consider all viewpoints. This leads to fairer and more effective decision-making. Section 7. Case studies, justice and balance in practice. Let's look at some real-world examples of justice and balance in governance. One example is Sweden. Sweden's government is known for its transparency and accountability. It has strong legal frameworks to ensure justice. public officials are held to high standards of conduct. Another example is Canada. Canada's system of government includes checks and balances. Power is divided among federal and provincial governments. This ensures that no single entity has too much control. Canada also has a strong judicial system that upholds justice. These examples show that justice and balance are achievable. They highlight the importance of strong institutions and legal frameworks. By learning from these examples, other countries can improve their governance systems. Section 8, Challenges to Achieving Justice and Balance. Achieving justice and balance in governance is not easy. There are many challenges. One challenge is corruption. Corruption undermines justice and fairness. It allows leaders to abuse their power for personal gain. Another challenge is political polarization. When political parties are deeply divided, it is difficult to achieve balance. This division can lead to gridlock and ineffective governance. It can also undermine public trust in the government. Economic inequality is another challenge. When resources are unevenly distributed, it is difficult to achieve justice. Inequality can lead to social unrest and instability. Governments must work to address these challenges to achieve effective governance. Section 9, Reflection on Current Governance Systems. Now let's reflect on current governance systems. Are they just and balanced? How do they compare to the ideals we have discussed? Many countries have made progress. They have legal frameworks that promote justice. They have systems of checks and balances to prevent the abuse of power. However, there is still work to be done. Corruption remains a problem in many places. Political polarization is increasing. Economic inequality persists. These issues must be addressed to achieve true justice and balance. As citizens, we have a role to play. We must hold our leaders accountable. We must demand transparency and fairness. By doing so, we can help build better governance systems. Section 10, Conclusion. The path to effective governance. In conclusion, understanding the difference between government and rule is important. Government is about structure and institutions. Rule is about the exercise of power. Justice and balance are crucial for effective governance. They prevent the abuse of power and promote fairness. Achieving justice and balance requires strong institutions and legal frameworks. It also requires accountability and transparency. While there are challenges, progress is possible. By learning from successful examples, we can improve governance systems worldwide. As we reflect on our own governance systems, let's strive for justice and balance. Let's work towards a world where power is used wisely and fairly. This is the path to effective governance and a better future for all.